Yes! Hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new season and episode of the Chilling Wargamers. We are a live wargaming community, people of Doom, and we just talk about wargaming because that's what we are. And today I've got my delicious co-host, the emotional stand-up comedian, Mr. Andy of the 2 of the D of the 6-ish. Thank you, guys.
I think people are getting a little bit tired of just those sporadic episodes every now and then.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll have a few episodes in a row at this exact time every week for a while, so people can get back into the groove. You can put this back on your calendar.
It's the real deal. I've even signed a contract. I had to sign a contract for my own thing.
In blood.
Yeah, in blood
Chicken
and chicken
blood.
juice. Yeah, chicken blood.
So
how are you, Mr. Ransom?
I am radiant, quite radiant, Mr. Spud. And how are you?
I don't even know what that means, but yeah, I am radiant as well. I'm beautiful. So, we have some beautiful chillers with us today. We have Mr. Elston from Elstonation Miniatures. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm absolutely radiant.
No applause for him.
Groovy,
And then, sitting next to me for one night only is Mr. Miniature Maniacs, the Stevie B!
One night only?
Yeah, he's sacked after tonight.
Alright, P45, yeah?
Yeah, P45's in the post. I said it's second class, so he might not get there till Friday.
That's fine.
Yeah, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah, 5-second delay, it's okay, don't worry. And then, for tonight, all the way from Terrain Land, it's Mr. Mel from the Terrain Channel! So, Mr. Mel, it's taken us nearly 2.5 years to get you on this show. Like, we've put some serious, risks, you know. We've all got loans from the bank. We've all signed them Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema contracts. It's a great honour to everyone, man.
Steve, good.
Welcome, I'm glad to be back on, mate.
You were all ready and set to be on for a terrain special quite a while ago, and due to a variety of technical issues involving Spud having no internet for a while, and all the other, we had about 3 guests, and all of them had to cancel at the last second apart from you, so it was just going to be us, so we decided, oh, we'll just wait till next week.
Oh, that's right.
How that turned out.
Once all the other guests decided they weren't in for it, just only me left. Yeah, we've finally taken 2.5 years till they've run out of people to interview, and I finally get on.
Basically.
Yeah. Sadly, that's how it is.
I did wonder with the start of the new season. You struggling for guests, guys? But thanks for having me on the show anyway.
I'm pretty sure that just about every human being in the wargaming community is a subscriber of yours, but there may be a couple of stragglers out there maybe who don't know who you are. So lay it on the line for us. Give us the
okay.
Give us the terrain shooter.
I am Mel. I am the terrain shooter. I'm a stay-at-home dad, hobby terrain builder, come part-time slight commission thingy. I build terrain, and mainly I show people how to make terrain via the wonderful usage of the site YouTube. So that's basically me, guys. I'm just a guy who likes making terrain. How's that?
That wasn't bad.
That's beautiful. So your channel's kind of grown over since last year. I think I remember when it had 1,000, and
yeah.
Now you've added an extra 0. So congratulations on that as well.
Yeah.
So prior to actually setting up your channel, did you have a background in building terrain before that?
I've been building terrain.
Recently got into.
No, I've been building terrain since I was well, basically, yeah, when I was a little kid, yeah, my mum was a single mother and she owned a craft shop. Yeah, and back in those days, they didn't have activities for kids to do at summer, so I spent my entire summers sitting in a craft shop. And, you start making dioramas and little play sets for your toy soldiers, and then from there, it got into wargaming. But I've always done terrain since I was literally a little nipper.
Do you remember your first piece of terrain?
Oh, my very first piece of terrain was a piece of white polystyrene that I'd scraped the middle out of, sort of glued green felt down to and made these ornate wire trees, yeah, for it. Yeah, and basically it was a battle board for those little plastic toy soldiers used to get, with the ones with the solid sheet, you know. The ornate trees came from, at the time, yeah, one of the crazes was, yeah, everyone was in the craft world was making those wire gem trees, like massive trees twisted out of wire that they had little gems hanging off. Yeah, and so I was making tons of them. So I made, you know, that's how I made. That was my first bit of terrain, you know, and I haven't stopped making bits of shite since then, to be perfectly honest.
I think my first piece was 3 toilet roll holders glued together.
Hey, epic, mate, absolutely
They were
epic.
concrete circle things that you get in a construction yard.
Yeah, there is something to be said for that, though, Spud. It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, and at the end of the day, any terrain is better than no terrain. You know, terrain's one of those things that, you know, your first attempt will always be your best attempt, and any attempt onwards, you know, just keeps getting better because it's so easy to go up on the terrain learning scale. You know, so give it a go. You know, don't be embarrassed about toilet roll terrain, mate. I've got some.
Yes.
As long as you washed your hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can use this. Like if you sneezed on it and snot on it enough, like it could be like a diorama snow base.
It could. I remember my first piece of terrain. It was. Does anyone remember the old Games Workshop metal like squads? You'd get like a squad of Imperial Guard, and inside there would be polystyrene with little sections, and it was like squares. So what I did was I cut out some of it to make it into corridors. So it was like Space Hulk kind of corridors.
Ah, some
That's
clever
the first thing I
crafting,
did.
mate. Clever
I
crafting.
didn't paint it or anything.
I'm
I
not
never
old enough
painted
to
terrain
remember
back
it.
in those days.
I remember Chaos blacking some polystyrene before.
That was
Oh,
The first time you do that, it's not fun, is it?
No, not when you've just stuck hours like putting it all together and then it just melts and you're like, oh right, that's good, that melts that.
How long did it take you to stop spraying, though?
I didn't. I just carried on going until it were a mass of goo on the floor. I was like, oh, why is it getting smaller? Oh, there's not left.
I can tell you exactly when I realised that spraying Chaos Black onto polystyrene was a bad idea. Yeah, and it was my 16th birthday. No, sorry, 16th. When I was 16 and it was Christmas. Yeah, because my mum bought me the old GW Mighty Fortress kit. Do you remember the polystyrene one? It was a big box and you laid it out for the Fantasy Fortress. Yeah, well, it was made out of polystyrene, and you know, at the time, I just didn't, you know, I'd got Chaos Black in a spray can, you know, I didn't know, and I converted it into a Nurgle Fortress, and it melted in front of my eyes on Christmas Day, and I broke my heart.
They do have sprays nowadays that you can use on polystyrene, though, don't they?
They do, and also, you know, it's actually not the paint in the spray that's the issue. It's the propellant. Yeah, so if you actually go far enough away, you can actually completely reduce the melting effect. You can't guarantee it won't melt, but any melting is drastically reduced. You know, it's the propellant that's the issue.
How about you, Mr. Stevie? What was your first piece of terrain?
I don't really know. To be honest.
Can we have a round of applause for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
How about Mr. Elstonation, then?
I can't remember the first actual piece of terrain I had, but I remember the first piece of terrain I made, which was, scouring pads. You sort of like cut them into strips and then fold them in half and then stick them to a piece of cardboard and then like flock over the top. Like those were the first ones, but the problem is the cardboard then bowed because of the PVA, so they're just like rocking vent like hedge.
It's fun. Well, I found when basing things on cardboard, I would always try having 2 pieces of cardboard stuck together with like the grain going in opposite directions. I found that helped a little bit. Stop
This
it.
is my limit to terrain.
Ooh, what's that?
Some Sarissa Precision Far East buildings.
Oh, they're nice. I saw those. They are nice.
That's where it starts and stops.
They haven't even taken them out of the packaging yet.
No.
He's just going to lay them on the table in the packages area terrain. You know, you
Since
just got to
about
imagine the building there.
since about mid-December, I've had painters and gaming block, so I've not done anything really. That's
Getting
why
into
this
some
is
terrain, mate.
possibly.
Yeah.
You did have some lovely terrain. I don't think you made it yourself, though, did you? Those big hills that you left around here, those are really nice.
Yeah, I normally had commission work done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
Steve's good at that.
going to put out a warning now that we're going to be doing the Chilling Terrain Challenge at some point in this episode. I've got next to me a huge box of random household items, and we're going to test our metal and see what we can come up with.
I'm basically picking up anything within arm's reach as well, so...
Yeah, same
pick
here.
up anything.
I thought it was just kidding.
Spud, you're going to be put to the test as well. We're going to see what terrain your mind can conjure up.
Yeah,
in these
I'm a
items as well.
legend. Anything I touch just turns to gold.
It's not allowed to be a KFC, though.
I had KFC since that day when you nearly died, when you were dying. That's the last time I had it.
I had KFC today.
Well, Steve, throw yourself off the bridge.
So now that we've given a bit of warning, maybe we should get back to interviewing our guest a little bit.
No,
What do you
I like slagging each other off. It's funny.
Well, we could do that for another 40 odd minutes if you like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Chilling flag off challenges.
Well,
I'll just grab a book.
Yeah. In fact,
actually,
you could just go
speaking
for
of books, they made great hills back in the day.
They certainly did. The old draping books.
And if you can get those folders, they're kind of wedge shapes as well, so you can actually walk up them.
You see, that's some clever crafting, that is, mate. I take you've been taking tips from our terrain Ted, have you?
Terrain Ted is a genius. He can take just a random assortment of anything around the house and just come out with professionally made stuff in a matter of minutes.
Well, you know, the gauntlet has been delayed for a terrain build-up between myself and terrain Ted, so, you know.
Unfortunately,
No doubt.
Terrain Ted is spending a bit more time in the rainforest teaching starving children how to make terrain.
Good on him. He's a good lad.
Yes, he always puts others first. So, Mr. Tutor, what was your most challenging terrain project to date?
I think
Right.
I know which one it is.
There's loads, to be truthful. Absolutely loads. Obviously, the Help for Heroes was a massive build, and that was challenging in a number of ways. One, the time, the detail, also integrating, the Mantix Battlezone kit into polystyrene and that sort of stuff. That was a real sort of brain teaser. Right now, I've recently just announced that I went up to see Ronnie at Mantic, and I'm working with them to produce the tabletops for for Adepticon and Salute for Mars Attacks, and basically we're going to be I'm building a White House. Yeah, they're just going to take nice pictures of it, but when the work comes down, yeah. So I've got this White House project, and he's got this vision of Mars Attacks robots ripping it apart and that sort of thing. So that's going to be a challenging build because it's the White House, and because it's going to Adepticon, it's sort of like I've got to get it right because the amount of American people who'd be seeing it. If it was in the UK, I'd feel a lot more relaxed, yeah, but there's going to be a lot of people there who, the White House is quite significant to them as a building, so if I get like the wrong number of windows or, something, schoolboy error, yeah, it might not turn out so well. So that's quite challenging.
You're planning to have a horrified president looking out the window, perhaps?
Well, you see, I did think about that, but I think you've got to go non-partisan on these sort of things, because American politics are quite, one way or another. So it's just going to be the building, who's in it at the particular time. We'll leave that to debate.
Yeah, best not get too much into American politics. That is a bit of a crazy and dangerous world that we don't understand.
I'll stick with just building the building, mate. That's going to be challenging enough. I mean, I've got, I think, just up to before Adepticon because they're shipping it over just before. So, I've got a reasonable build time, and I'm going to be doing vlogs and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so people will be able to follow my progress. But it's an interesting build, It's essentially an architectural build. You know, when we do terrain, we normally go, you know, it's in our mind's eye. You know, in this case, you're taking a physical building and sort of reducing it down. Now, we did look at the size of it, and to scale, the White House on the tabletop would be 3 to 3.5 foot wide, yeah, to sort of 2.5 foot to 3.5 foot in depth, yeah, and over a foot high. And that's depending on whether you sort of go for real 28mm or heroic scale, you know, because it's sort of a varying scale. So what we decided, we'd slice the front of it and do just a tabletopper. So I'm only building like 3 inches in, and the front and the north portico that sort of fronts onto Pennsylvania Avenue. But yeah, it's going to be definitely, and on top of that, it's got to be modular, because obviously they've got to get it over there in a relatively small box. So that's quite an interesting build and quite a challenging one.
Rather you than me.
Well, I'm quite glad, because I should be working on it right now, but you know, luckily you guys are distracting me from it.
Will the White House be your first replica of a real building that you've created?
No, because I did one based on an old house in Shrewsbury, yeah, which I took for a medieval build. But it's the first time I've done a modern building, you know, which certainly has a lot more detail in it. So, you know, certainly stepping up the game, but, you know, I'm confident and the skills are within my skill set. You know, it's not something I can't do, you know, it's just the idea of it, the concept that's quite challenging.
What are you planning to make it out of?
Foam board. Yeah, white 5mm foam board. Yeah, for 2 reasons. Yeah, one, it's easy to work with and construct. Yeah. Secondly, yeah, it's light for shipping, because obviously it's got to go over to the US. So if I did casting or bricks or resin, you know, that's a big lump of resin.
Oh,
I mean, God knows how much, you know, how much that'd be worth.
how do you do like the pillars? Would that be like just like plastics? Or, I don't know if does the White House have pillars at the front of it?
I don't know. I mean, I need to get a decent close-up look at the pillars to see if they're smooth, to see if they're perfectly symmetrical, to see whether they're the beveled ones. Now, depending on which it is, you know, for cost's sake, you know, we'll look at doweling. Yeah, I don't like using PVC piping because it's really difficult to get paint and texture to adhere to it. Yeah, because it's a completely smooth surface. So balsa doweling's good. Failing that, yeah, well, I'll be nipping down the cake shop and looking at cake stands if I need the beveled effect.
Yep, fair enough.
Good idea.
It is kind of lucky, really, that you're shipping it over and not taking it over there personally, because if you were searched at an airport and you had like plans and a model of a partially destroyed White House,
well, do you know what?
Trouble.
Yeah, when I was sort of like, after Ronnie sent me a message on Facebook sort of saying, I have an idea, you know, this White House and all this sort of stuff. And I thought, okay, well, before I go meeting, best thing is, you know, just get a reality check, figure out how big this beast is going to be, you know, so we're both talking on the same sort of page. And I was doing the reality check and I was searching for plans of the White House and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and the wife sort of looks at me and she says, can you get in trouble for that? And I was like, I don't know. No, surely not. Surely not. And I was thinking, well, actually, you know, prior, you know, I've been in the forces in the past, and it's like, well, searching for the White House is one, what you call it, sort of red flag. Forces background, possibly another. Yeah, now I was planning on going to Adepticon, which means I'd be flying into Chicago after searching for the plans with a military background. Yeah, but not flying to see this building I'm really interested in, but flying to midway in the country. And I thought, well, that would definitely be a third one. I'd be surprised if I wasn't stopped trying to go through US Customs after that internet search.
Yeah, I was the most wanted when I went to America. Like, every single airport, I just got stopped. Like, obviously, there's like, how many people on a plane? Like 500-ish. And out of everybody, I was the one that I had my shoes taken off me. Yes. And my phone. Everything. My suitcase just got put on hold straight away. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. This was in the UK as well. I've not even got to America. They don't even have guns over here. And then as soon as I walked through it, we were like, okay, we need your shoes. And I'm like, sorry? We need shoes. I'm like, okay. Then they searched me once. And they searched me twice with more in-depth, you know, actually touching.
Dude, don't use the term in-depth.
I had my clothes on, but it went like into my testicles. And then,
Please tell me so well like that.
right? And then, as I was going to go collect my shoes from somewhere else, I went to take my phone out my jacket, and this guy walked up and took my phone off me. I'm like, because I was like, as well. I was like, this is mental. Like, this is so racist against sports.
Well, to be fair, but you were planning a nationwide poultry famine when you arrived.
That was very true, but no one knew about that, though.
Yeah, mate. If you put it on YouTube, they know about it. You know, you're on a no-fly risk because you're a risk to poultry.
Yeah.
I do think there were multiple posts of you talking about how there would be no chickens left in America when you left.
I think one of the best ones was when I threatened, like, because America and another country were having like a little tiff, and I said, if those actually stop me from going to America, I'll mess up both countries. So that might not help.
No.
You're on a watch list, mate.
So anyway, total derail. Mr. Mel, what building would you actually like enjoy to build? You know, like if you could have a dream. Hey, you could have a dream. If you could like have all the materials, everything, and you could build it like 28mm scale, what would your dream? Have a dream.
Well, there's a couple that have.
Can I have a couple?
A couple that have already sort of been done, and I've thought, you know, things like you see the iconic builds such as the White City from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's an iconic build.
Minas Tirith, is it? Minas Tirith?
Yeah, Minas Tirith, yeah. Absolutely iconic, you know, and beautiful to see. I saw it at Games Workshop, Manchester, I think it was. Yeah, to be truthful, I've always said, yeah, because that's actually a question, you know, I ask on my hangouts when we talk terrain. And for me, yeah, it's if you play World of Tanks, yeah, there's a particular map on it called, I think it's Himmelsdorf, which is sort of a World War II city with a massive castle on one side on a hill, and then a railway on the other side, and then an open park, yeah, and it's just buildings, yeah. I would love, yeah, to run my Imperial Guard through that.
There's a big, like,
I would love it.
Isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. You know, you sort of go, you know, I get a lot of inspiration for terrain builds from games like World of Tanks, you know, all sorts of multiplayer MMOs and stuff like that. Because the way I look at it is, yeah, some big company has paid millions to graphics designers and map designers to design game tables that look brilliant and are really playable and balanced from both sides. Yeah, and I sit down there and think, you know, when I think about big buildings and ideas, you know, if you want to have an idea, you can have an idea and you can look at something, but in games you can run round it. You can film your footage while you do it, run around the building, have a look at what it looks like, what the colours on the walls are, so you've got your painting guide, roughly how big it is, look around a street or two, and then what you end up with is like a plan, a 3D digital plan of something you really like. Yeah. The downside of this is, yeah, that I can be playing World of Tanks in the evening, yeah, and I'll spot something that I like the look of, a rock, or, you know, a bit of one building. And then while the battle's going on and my teammates need me, I'm driving round in my little tank trying to get footage of it, yeah, for a terrain build.
Oh, we should so send an email to wargaming.net and Warlords and see if they both collaborate into that, because that would be epic.
Oh, mate, do you know what? The amount of time that would take, that would be a year project, no doubt. But I would love to do it. In fact, to be truthful, there's a lot of maps on World of Tanks that I'd love to give a go at, because the one thing I like about it is, one, they're square, and two, they're balanced. You know, they're really fine-tuned. So from a gameplay point of view, you know, it doesn't matter. It can be a fully featured board, i.e. all the terrain in place, and you know when you play on it, it's balanced. No one's got an advantage.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting topic for you.
The wife's saying I'm not building it in her house.
Now, many years ago, Games Workshop, obviously being the largest company in the whole wargaming industry, they used to do a lot of tips and even tutorials for making various things in White Dwarf magazine when it came to terrain. And then a time came where they made the business decision that they're not going to start showing off things that you can't just buy as it is. So they start selling things like the Realm of Battle boards and things like that. So do you think that terrain building could have potentially become a bit of a dying art if it weren't for the YouTube community?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that was one of my sort of main motivators for doing it, because it is becoming a dying art. You know, the amount of homemade terrain you see nowadays, and don't get me wrong, yeah, terrain, it's a golden age for wargaming. Everyone says it, yeah, and it's the same in terrain. I mean, we're getting stuff like, you know, foreground builds. I mean, can you imagine that when we were younger? Do you know what I mean? Just being able to go out and buy something like that, dirt cheap, whack it on your table, no painting, you know, put together in an hour. Yeah, the problem is that, you know, the more the skills go, yeah, the less chance we're going to get them back. Now, all this wonderful terrain and manufactured terrain is great, but you can't make a hill out of what's called laser cut MDF. Yeah, you can't get them 3D printed because they'd be massive. Yeah, so there's certain skills that we need to keep going. Yeah, otherwise we're going to end up playing on tables full of laser cut MDF or plastic builds, and they're great. Yeah, but with a little bit of effort and a bit of crafting, a little bit of money, it'd be so much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you always end up saving more money when you're making your own terrain. Even though you're putting your own time and effort, but you can put your own personal feels to it as well. Like if you buy pre-made terrain, most of the time when you get it, it's obviously it's already painted. You probably won't really want to do nothing of it anyway, because it's pretty good, unless it's like got a shabby paint test, but I doubt it.
Well, okay, to make a point, yeah, this build.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gothic Ruin. Yeah, can't be more than £3 or £4 materials in your time. Do you know what I mean? How, if you want to build a terrain table, yeah, it's not the cost of the materials, it's the time. But if it's your hobby and you make it like a hobby project, or you get your mates involved, yeah, you can have cracking tables, not just a random collection of a few different bits, yeah. Sit down, come up with a theme, yeah, figure out how you're going to do it. There's tutorials online, not just my channel, yeah, there's loads of good guys doing tutorials out there, yeah. You can, if you want to build it, there'll be a tutorial for it. Do it as a hobby project, yeah. If you can spend 6 months painting an army, you can spend a month building yourself amazing terrain to play over.
What was that we just saw there?
Yeah, guys, just prior to the show, because I do know Spud and Andy, yeah, they are good mates. Yeah, I've been putting out on the social media that I'm fully up for misbehaving in this episode, just to put the fear in Andy. I don't think anything would scare Spud, to be perfectly honest, yeah, but Andy was, I reckon, was a little worried.
Well, we've got Stevie though, and he's always misbehaving.
Funny guy.
I'm gonna say, unless you can shove me into a cave, I don't think it's gonna scare me.
So come on, Mr. Ransom, what's your other questions, boy?
Well, first of all, I was thinking that Mr. Spud, our very prepared co-host, could run through some of the comments.
Yes, let's do this. Let me just have one more refresh. We've got 15 people watching tonight, guys, so thank you very much to every single one of you that have turned up and watched this awesomeness. You know, it's pretty sick. So, we have Mr. Dreadlun himself watching along.
Terrain legend.
Mr. Pezipoo.
Mr. Pezipoo's also becoming a terrain legend now.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good looking board.
Yeah, it's a sexy board. Were you going to say something, Mel?
I was just going to say, first off, Dread, yeah, awesome terrain builder and model painter, converter, all round. It's just like art, you know what I mean? Yeah, and also, Pezipoo, awesome table, mate. I mean, really awesome table. Listen, give us a shout, yeah, because I want to play on it, and I know you're only up the road.
Challenge. We have Mr. Graham Collins, never misses a live show, wherever you are, whatever time, he is always there. What a nice guy. We have Mr. Moggy's Miniatures. We have Gloomy Dreader Gaming. Mr. Mazda Monday, good to have you back, brother. And Mr. Chris Nichols, he wants to know when the singing is going to start.
It's not.
Ooh.
It's not.
I'm not allowed.
What do you mean it's not? I'm the guest. I should be allowed to do whatever the hell I want.
That's why I'm here, to be sensible.
Oh yeah.
My singing
Yeah,
voice
can
is so sweet. I have to charge people.
Can we
to
eject
listen
him
to it.
from the show, please?
No.
I can actually do that as well.
It's alright, I'll just turn up at Andy's house.
You'd have to be let in though.
No, I don't.
There,
No, it's pretty- have you seen my front door? It's quite hardcore.
Yeah, it's alright.
We'll see. So, have we had any questions yet? Because we are encouraging audience questions when it comes to terrain.
Any questions yet about terrain yet? Just people saying hello, just doing the chilling thing.
Okay, so what I think we'll do now, we'll do the first of the chilling terrain challenges. So I'm going to delve into this box next to me, and we're going to go through everyone and see what you can come up with as far as a terrain build from them. So the first thing we have this Roundtree's pick and mix tube. We have this, like the insert from a Ferrero Rocher variety box. We have, oh, this is going to be a big piece. Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
We have a big piece of polystyrene.
Okay.
And finally, we have a Jaffa Cake snack pack.
Space Marine bathtub.
Right. Who wants to go first?
What out of the stuff that you've got? Because I brought my own.
Spud, you could have been thinking about that for hours. I want to hear your brain just working over right now, thinking what it can do with these items.
Well, do you want me to go first then?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so the polystyrene thing's on the bottom, obviously, and then the Roundtree's tube thing is a chimney for the actual house, and then obviously the Jaffa Cake is a bathtub, and what other bit?
A Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
The Ferrero Rocher thing, I wanted to use them all. I'll probably use 4 of them and have them as like little chairs. I'm done. I can't really think. You know what mine were going to be? Because you said just random stuff.
Oh,
I've got
wait,
a-
we'll do yours later, Spud. You
It's
can
fine.
drop it on everyone.
Who
Right,
thought you
everyone's
could
too
go
excited.
first?
Who wants to go next?
Steve's got the most imagination here. Go for it, Steve.
Steve's done that anyway, I'll show. So, Steve, go on, mate.
Well, I don't know what I'd make with it, but I know what I could do with them. What about a Ferrero Rocher wheels for the Jaffa Cake? Make like a space car. Polystyrene. Make a factory out of it with the round cheese tube.
Well, top that, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, Alson. I'd like to see what you say. No, I want this guy to go next. This little joker over here.
Alright, okay. So what I would do is flip the Ferrero Rocher thing, plant it down like that, spray it all black, put the
No one
tube...
cares.
He's adding paint. He's adding paint, this guy. I got no talk more about paint.
No, no one said out about paint. Right, moving on. Forget him.
Right, so go on, Ferrero Rochers.
Yeah, so flip them upside down, lay them down like a sort of, make it basically look like a processing plant, so the Roundtree's things to the side of it with the Jaffa Cake thing is like a generator. There'd be like a cooling water unit or something like that. I have no idea what to do with the polystyrene though. Something a bit like that, yeah.
Yeah, what I
Okay.
said.
Right, what do you think, Mr. Mel?
I'd probably get the polystyrene, separate the blocks into probably about 6 separate irregular building shapes, yeah? I'd flip the Ferrero Rocher tray upside down, use a scalpel, cut out the various domes, but cut them in squares so I've got a neat fit. Flip them upside down so they become domes, use those on top of the roofs to break up the angular build, and then obviously the tube would be a funnel on one of the larger buildings. Oh yeah, and the Jaffa Cake tub, that's quite a nice dome as well, so I'd integrate that into the larger building and carry a few of the Ferrero Rocher little mini trays over as well to carry the theme across. And then just hit it with filler.
Boom.
Think we have a winner?
Boom!
When you finished your White House, I'll send these over to you and you can get cracking with it.
Mate, I'll do that commission for 300 quid.
Right, now I know Spud was itching to show us his items, so should we
Right,
do
so,
that right now?
anyway, so obviously I've got a snotty tissue, I've got this Rubicon empty coconut water bottle, and I've got a spoon. So what I was thinking is, obviously you take the lid off, right, and then you can stick that on the side there as like a little engine or something. Check this shit out. It's a spoon in there, yeah? This is snow, right? And then like this spins about. It's like a radar in the middle of nowhere in the snow desert.
Dude, mate, no, Spud.
Who's next?
Spud, no, look, let me go, guys. Please let me go.
Go for it.
Okay, Spud, what you got to do, get the spoon, lift it out, and hold it next to the bottle. Yeah, hold them both in camera view. Yeah, don't worry about the... We also need, imagine the lid is at the front. Don't hold the spoon onto it. Keep it separate, about an inch away, just next to it. Oh, you need the tissue, dude. Pick the tissue up. We need the tissue.
This is really hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Spoon's rocket is off to Button Moon, but he's not inside. Do you remember that? Off to Button Moon?
I kind of remember Mum telling me that I used to watch it, and that's it.
Yeah, it's younger than he looks, that Spud, you know.
Am I showing my age? Does anyone here who... No. Oh,
No.
Seriously, guys, don't do this to me. Yeah, I know I'm too...
Yeah, you got to imagine that it goes in age-wise. It goes. Andy's the oldest out of us three, out of us four. Sorry.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is Mr. Elston older than me, though? I think he might be.
I'm 31.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my God, you old bastard! Yeah, he's pretty much dead. Elston's really old.
Who would you say was the youngest?
Just for public information here, as he's, calling old gits until I'm nearly dead. Yeah, I turned 40 this year. Cheers, Bud.
Did you pick up your pension today? Isn't it pension day today?
You can get a lot of phone board
It's
with
alright. Just get your bus pass, come up here, and then we'll have a arm wrestle.
The gauntlet.
You know what? I am not even going to start with the younger generation.
The youth.
The kids nowadays.
It's funny because I'm the youngest.
Mate, I've got models older than you.
You probably have, mate.
I probably have. In fact, I know I have.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, that, isn't it?
Right, Spud, I had an idea for your little bits of household items there.
Yes.
What you do is you use that carton as a chimney.
Yeah.
You have the horrible grimy tissue as smoke. You just spray a bit of black on it or something, or a bit of dry brushing once it goes all crusty.
Yeah.
And then you cut the spoon in half. You cut the head off it. Yeah. Then you use the long part of the spoon as like a bridge leading into the chimney. And then I have no idea what you do with the head of the spoon, to be honest. I just wanted you to break your spoon.
Just stick it on the side as an oval futuristic generator.
Oval futuristic generator. I think that was it.
Do you know what, guys? Yeah, don't do terrain tutorials.
No, I've got a good one, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this, I'm going to cut all the pieces out, and then I'm going to make a fantastic little house.
But you're never ever going to do that. You're just going to pay someone else to do it because you're lazy.
Win. No, I can do that.
But you won't though.
You will believe it when we see it.
Right, swear to God.
Right.
I'm going to do it right now. Right now.
This guy, he won the best painted army at a tournament, right? That we went to recently. And it was commissioned. He didn't even paint it.
Hey, I didn't ask for it. I just got it. He said it's just the best one that turned up. Don't start getting all upset.
Well, everything in this hobby is either money or time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
Yeah, especially with terrain. I mean, the money side isn't that bad because unless you're getting seriously into terrain, you can tend to do it with, general DIY, general hobby tools. Yeah, but the time with terrain is the real killer. If you think it takes a while to paint an army, try painting a city.
We have some questions.
I think Hobby Tool is going to be the name of Stevie's spin-off terrain channel, by the way.
Hobby Tool.
Yeah, we got a few questions, some serious questions.
Ooh.
Oh, we've got Mr.
Okay.
Tabletop Painting. Hello, bro. How's it going? Nice to see you in the comments. You're a new person to the show. I've never seen you, so welcome to this craziness. Mr. Tom Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Wilson's in the chats.
Space Wolf Legend.
Mr. Judge Gudge, what a sick guy. I hadn't seen him for ages. Look how happy I am now. So anyway, Mr. Pezzapoo, he says give him a PM for the game. Also, he says how many terrain pieces has Mel made over the years? Over those 40 years.
4-0.
Oh, I haven't been building since like I came out of my mum's womb. You know what I mean?
4-0. Twice the age as me.
And I'm not 40 yet. Okay, over the watch clip, the probably. I mean, I've been doing it proper making wargames terrain because I got into wargaming when I was about watch clip 15. So we're probably looking at a total of what 24 years, coming up to 25.
Is that when they had lead miniatures?
Yeah, I've done a lot of watch clip, a lot of work with clubs and stuff like that. I've got to have made near on at least 300 pieces.
I'm gonna say easy peasy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't done terrain all the way through because, you know, obviously, you know, you go through your teenage years, you do your gaming, then you discover beer, women, the army, then you come out and then you find your hobby again. So, you know, it's sort of like that. But yeah, probably I reckon about 300 pieces in total.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you, baby. Brewski.
Then we have
That's the first
Mr.
two things.
We don't have Mr. We have Mrs. Gloomy Dreaded Gaming. Anyway, here's a question. How would I make a giant chicken god statue with Spud's head on it as a terrain piece?
Yeah, I'd probably recommend 2-part RTV silicon watch clip molding. Basically, what we need to do is hold Spud down in a chicken costume. Yeah, drop him into a large Lego box. Yeah, then fill him roughly up to the waist with RTV silicon. Yeah, we need to drop some post-it to secure the mold when it comes out of the Lego. Once the bottom bit's set, yeah, we then grease him up with what's got some sort of mold release lubricant. Yeah,
KFC
pour him
gravy.
up. Yeah, all the way over his head for the second part of the box. Now, what I suggest for this is we give him a snorkel or some sort of tube, yeah, as a vent. Because we're not only going to have to he's not going to have to only breathe within the mould, but we're also going to have to pour resin into the mould, so a vent's needed. So we'd have an exit vent coming from somewhere down below and an entry vent going into his nostrils or his mouth. You know, so ramming a stake up there as we make the mould, you know. Spud won't mind, yeah, it's for terrain, yeah. And then basically we wait till the mould cooks off, then you just basically pop it out. You've got a 2-part mould, fill it with some sort of decent resin, and then pop it out and paint it. Life-size, chicken-size, Spud, and we can mass-produce them. Spud, are you up for it?
Or we can just get a 3D sculptor to do like a normal size version and just print it off and then do all that silicon tubing and stakes and stuff in it and then just have like a 28mm scale.
I don't know, if after the show people go back and concentrate on Spud's face, he didn't seem to be with you when you were talking, and then as soon as you mentioned greasing him up, suddenly the light came on and he perked up a bit.
I'm generally intrigued to see how many wargamers it would take to hold Spud down.
Oh,
Depends who they are, I think.
I could take Spud.
I don't think you could.
That sounds like a challenge.
Let's just say I went rugby training the other day, totally off subject, and the three people that were stood in front of me were like, this young kid, they were like, it's alright, so this Spud, they were like, just don't get him angry. He is very, very nice when he's not angry. If you get him angry, we are effed. And I was walking into the tackle, and I had one of them around my leg, and I was walking forward, and I was like, just fall on the floor. If I'd have run full well and got really upset, they wouldn't have stopped me.
He's a beast.
I actually think we should change the Wargamer arm wrestling into the Spud challenge, where people can just turn up to these events and just challenge Spud, and anyone who wins will get a fantastic prize.
Just like a tug of war, Spud versus everyone else, and see what happens.
Though we would have to get them to sign something, because Spud probably would snap a couple of arms.
You see, you got it all wrong. Yeah, you're not thinking with your heads, guys. Yeah, when it comes to someone like Spud, you don't wrestle him. You wait till he walks out, yeah, and then you hit him with a car.
No, don't.
Yeah, it wouldn't work with Steve's car. It'd be like that scene in Hellboy. Red meat, stop! Boom!
The car hits Spud and falls apart.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, if you watch a smart car driving into a brick wall at 30 mile an hour, that's what'll happen.
Disclosure, my car's not a smart car.
Right, have you got any more questions, or should I get back to my professionally prepared A-list journalist
let me check.
questions?
So yeah, people were mentioning, all people in the comments were mentioning about Button Moon. Just saying.
Oh, excellent. I don't feel that old now.
Mr. Jedi Jim. Mr. Jedi Jim. This guy, mate, I haven't seen this guy. Oh, we're having some old school back. We have some old school. Mr. Role Models. Here we go, question straight in. Mr. R9, cheese and bread. There's loads of people turning up. This is Ace. Sorry I'm late, chaps. How would it go about making a dam for water effects on a 1 foot square boards?
Right, I'm assuming that you've got a channel, yeah, to put your water effects in, i.e. it's a moulding, yeah. What I normally do is I'll use masking tape up against the flat side to sort of make a barrier to stop the water. Basically what he's asking, yeah, is if you've got a 1 foot tile and you've got like a river section in it, what stops the water effects when you pour it in running out? Yeah, now, cheap way of doing this is masking tape, sellotape, yeah, run it across the edge so it's nice and secure and you've got a dam, and then just go along, yeah, and before you pour your water effects in, yeah, get your water effects with a brush and just paint it along the edges where the tape meets the model, yeah, just so you get a decent seal. Once that's done, yeah, you can pour in your actual water effects, and that will sort of give you your level. You can then sort of take the tape off, and then you've got nice clean. The only thing you've got to watch for is what they call the meniscus effect, which is where the water will bow up, yeah, up against the tape. When you take the tape away, you have this little lip, yeah. So you need something you can sort of file down or cut down, or you need to do it very gradually, yeah, or just put an extra topper layer in just to smooth it out. But that's what he's talking about. Use tape, seal it around the edges, mate. Hope that helps.
Have you covered water effects on your channel yet?
We've had a brief overview. Baby, would you do me a favour?
Yes.
Yeah, can you get me a couple of the swamp bases, please, from the kitchen? Yeah, we've covered basically how I'm. Oh, and the pond. Yeah, you'll see it clearly.
Anything else on there?
Yeah, burger and chips.
Sod on.
Ooh.
Gotta try. Always trying, boys. But no, we've covered overview of water effects. So we've looked at the various hobby manufacturers, the various, the pond. It's the big circle one with the empty bit in the middle.
This is when he just swings across the screen and just hits him straight in the face.
Yeah.
Just bring the swamps, my love.
Here's your pond, and it's like a frisbee through the air right into your head.
She's found the pond. Okay. So, cheers. Oh, they haven't been shaken off, have they? My bad. Okay, guys. So I've covered how to make things like this, which is obviously going to be a pond. Yeah. We've covered all the different product overviews on using resin, on using Vallejo water effects, on using Woodland Scenics water effects. I haven't done GW's water effects because it's shit. Yeah. I'm working on swamp bases. Yeah, seriously, don't touch GW stuff. It's really nasty. They've watered it down. It cracks like crazy. Don't waste your money. Yeah. So they're coming. On top of that, I've got a couple of other water things coming, but I can't really talk about them yet because I need to get them sorted. So it's secret at the minute. But yeah,
whoa.
So what is it again?
You can't just say stuff like that on our show. You must, in the contract, what was sent you, you can't say stuff like that.
Okay, basically what you call it, I picked up a plastic river. Yeah, I reviewed it on my channel, and basically it's really naff. Yeah, and myself want a river system. Yeah, because I've made loads, never had one for my gaming table. So that's my little project, but I really want to go to town on it. And do all sorts of funky features and waterfalls, and basically using it as a tool to showcase all the elements from, the start of the water from a waterfall all the way down to bridges, rapids, weirs, tide pools, all the way down to marshland, and use it as a big tutorial series. So that's what, what's coming with the water stuff. If you want to talk about things I can't talk about, would you like me not to talk about the thing I can't talk about Dungeon Saga and what I'm doing with Mantic?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Well,
No.
obviously, you...
This guy. Right, come on.
Okay. Right, what you call it? So obviously another little sort of side project with Mantic, and nothing's set in stone yet with regards to exactly how we're going to do and that sort of stuff. But obviously they've got Dungeon Saga coming up, and they're getting to the stage where it's looking great, guys. Seriously, yeah. If you're a backer, yeah, you're gonna love the box. You're really gonna love the box. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, you're gonna love it. But obviously they're at the stage where they're doing the rulebook and they want to take photos. They've got the models, they're painted up, they're looking really, really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah, no, but no, babe. I mean, I'm a massive dungeon crawler fan. Yeah, I'd show you over there, but my wife's there and she doesn't want to appear on camera. But I've got like a bookcase and it's full of Hero Quest and Dungeon. Hero Quest, Advanced Hero Quest, Dungeon Saga, not Dungeon Saga, Super Dungeon Explore. Yeah, I love dungeon crawlers. But anyway, yeah, it's looking really good. But they want the dungeon to take the photos of the models for the rulebook in. So we're working on that. So that's a super secret project. But I can't tell you anything about what we're actually looking at because, you know, it's going to be in all the promotional shots and that sort of stuff, and they want it as a surprise. So
You got a picture?
I wish I genuinely, yeah, seriously, yeah, I'll tell you what. The box that is coming in, yeah, I almost nicked it from Ronnie's office while he wasn't looking. It was that good. Yeah, it was really like, oh, that's awesome. You know, what they've done with it is really good. It's going to look brilliant on your shelf. Yeah, but the models, guys.
It was
Really?
probably potentially the best ever money-saving thing ever.
Oh, mate, that Kickstarter went ballistic, and the extras, you should see the extras.
I've got the extras.
Oh, mate, I want all the extras.
Responsible for most of that explosion on the Kickstarter as well, with our in-depth coverage.
Yeah.
You were. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm a backer, but I'm only in for $1. Yeah, because basically, when it came up to the end of the Kickstarter, I was skinned and I couldn't afford it. Yeah, so I threw $1 in. Yeah, so I'm in for $1. I don't even know if the pledge manager's open, but I've got to sort of figure something out.
It is open now.
Is it open now? Right. Well, I'm going to have to get my $100 pledge in and sort of, you know, get the lot. I mean, I'm hoping. Listen, can you actually sort of up your pledge to the Dungeon Master pledge afterwards, after it's closed?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you still get all? Do you still get all the all the extras?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Basically,
sweet.
basically get credit and then you choose what you want. So you
Right.
like,
Yeah, but you know the stretch goals. Do you get those as well?
Yeah.
As part of the base, like $100 Dungeon
Yeah,
Master.
the $100 pledge, it'll give you like $200. Say if you put $200 in, you'll have $200 credit like in a basket.
Oh man.
And then
right.
you click on the $100 pledge, and it gives you a list of everything that you get, and then it takes you $100 off, and then you have $100 to spend on whatever you want again.
you could
Oh
do
man. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've seen this stuff. Yeah, and I want the lot. I mean, what is it? I think it's something near 200 models
Yeah.
for the pledge. And have you seen the big beasties? I can't tell you, but guys, but literally, you'll love them. You really will love them. I mean, it's... Mate, I'm raving. But anyway, I'm basically doing the dungeon for them. I can't say any more than that, other than, you know, we're looking at a few different things and something that'll hopefully be modular so they can get different sort of looks to the photos. And then also, I can't show you guys. I don't know.
No.
Oh God, I've got something right there. That's mate.
Sorry, Ronnie doesn't want to show anyway, so come on.
Can't we tease one more out of you?
Just show us.
Oh, guys, I can't.
If you've signed an NDA, I'll totally understand.
Yeah.
I haven't signed an NDA.
Oh, show us it then.
Alright, come on.
No. But I did have a word with Ronnie earlier before I come on and said, you know, am I allowed to talk about the project? You know, and because the problem is because it's for the artwork for Mars Attacks and the things like the adverts and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's sort of giving the game away ahead of the time, sort of stealing their thunder if I show off. It's a bit like
Did he say
if they
yes
showed-
or no?
Well, he said he said I could talk about the project, but please don't show anything or talk about direct specifics of how I'm making them or anything like that.
We don't want to compromise our A-list media backstage passes with Mantic, so I suppose we'll let you off.
Guys, I'll tell you what I can show you. Yeah, I figured something.
Oh, keep it in your pants.
Scary. He's not going to get naked, is he?
I hope so.
Spud, that phrase was immortalised.
I can show you the base.
Wait,
That's cool.
just wait while I try and get excited.
That'll take a while, knowing you.
Yeah.
Well, Spud, are there any more audience questions?
Yeah, I've got Mr. Graham Collins again. If you're going to Adepticon, will you be likely to get in to see a terrain off against terrainaholic Bill?
Oh, unfortunately, I'm not going to Adepticon now. Basically, I was going. I got the money together, and then basically I had a thought, and about priorities, and I needed a new camera for my channel. I desperately needed a shed because I was about to lose my marriage. Yeah.
No, you were about to be sleeping in the little shed outside and with all the stuff outside.
So basically,
I
his wife
agreed
said he
if
couldn't
you
come
have
in.
a shed.
Mate, my wife hasn't seen the kitchen table
No,
since
you
I
ha-
started the Help for
No,
Heroes
no,
project
no.
in April last year.
These people do not realise how much this house, your stuff takes up. Yeah, I have no
No, we
kitchen, I have no bedroom, I have no living room.
So what I decided was I wasn't going to go to Adepticon. I was going to buy a shed.
I'd probably stay there.
But yeah, guys, basically, I'd have loved to have gone to Adepticon, but in real honesty, it's not just the camera and the shed. Yeah, it's my marriage. It's seeing my kids. It's a lot cheaper on a divorce.
Oh, you make me sound so bad. I think I'm actually quite tolerant.
Baby, you are wonderful. Listen, I just want to do a quick shout out. Yeah, just very quick shout out. I would like to just say, since we are live, yeah, I love that woman, yeah, because the support she gives me with making my terrain and how forgiving she is, the amount of kitchen instruments, yeah, she's lost to terrain building, is unbelievable. She hasn't seen a kitchen table.
All my carving knives, all my steak knives, all my sieves, all my graters, my blender, my coffee grinder,
Yeah.
my electric knife.
What do you need a blender for?
She hasn't. Chopping foam up to make clump foliage. It's really good.
You thought I was kidding, I really wasn't.
Yeah. On top of that, yeah, she ain't seen the kitchen table, and I mean, genuinely, we've only had one meal on it
18 months.
for 18 months.
Real on it, and that was overboard.
It's got to no, seriously, it's got to the stage here where she's already decided when I get the shed, I can take the kitchen table with me. But no, this is Kerry, my lovely wife. She's studying biomedical science, which makes her a smart arse. Yeah, but I love her dearly, and thank you for your support, baby.
That's true love on the Chilling Wargamers. We've never had that before. I want to thank Mr. Ian Tutor for letting you do this tonight as well. Because obviously, without her permission, you wanted to do it on our show anyway.
If mate, put the video in the right spot, they'll be able to see her reflection behind you as well.
Don't risk it.
No, watch for it. I'm not changing the angle so you can see the reflection of her in the mirror. She's not dressed. She's naked. You should see the look she's giving me now. She's actually fully dressed, guys.
I am not naked.
Yeah, but the look she gave me was well worth it.
Spud's the only one that's allowed to be naked on this show. That's long been established.
Told you should get rid of them. Bloody display camera.
So, any more questions, Spud, from the audience?
You're getting smashed up after the show.
We have no questions, but we have Mr. Bazooka J. Rambo, one of the old school commenters from back in the day, from when we were small. I'd just like to say as well, this year is the 3rd year of Chilling Wargamers.
Oh, that's pretty impressive, Spud, I've got to say. So listen, guys. Yeah, just before we round it up, yeah, is there going to be a 2015 Chilling Wargamers get together? You know, in the UK somewhere. Are we going to pick Derby or something like that? Because I am an honorary member of this group. I do have a T-shirt. My lad loves his Chilling I mean, really loves it, Spud. I really appreciated that, dude. It's always in it. Yeah. So we're going to get together, boys, and have, like, you know, a day, perhaps at Warhammer World, and we'll all go down and play relics.
Oh yeah, I'm going to say.
In the car park.
No, we could meet somewhere like neutral, like in the middle of the country. Me and
Like
Andy have
Leeds.
been speaking about some other secret, but
Oh, you can't do that. No, you just had me on secrets, buddy.
No. You've signed the contract.
we signed a contract saying we don't have to speak about it. You see,
All right.
that's
Contracts.
the perks of owning Chilling Wargamers. No, seriously, we have discussed it and looked at various venues. That's what we can say.
Okay, well,
Yeah, in
I'll
the future,
look
at
forward
some
to it,
point,
boys.
we don't know when it's going to be, but we have pledged that there will one day be a chill con.
Yes, the news is out.
One
Yeah.
day.
We've
If anyone
actually
wants
looked
to
at.
privately fund it for us, then just drop us a comment or a private message.
That's the only thing that we've discussed. We found a few venues that we potentially could have it at, like with hotels, airports, everything nearby. But it's the forward funding in front of it. Like, we don't want to make any profit on it. We just want to get together and either get wrecked or get whatever, chilling.
Guys, why don't you do a Kickstarter?
I know, but no one likes Kickstarter. So, to be truthfully honest, no one likes Kickstarter as much, you know. I'd rather try do it like myself, but I don't know. It's something in the future. Maybe not even this year. Might be next year. That we can,
A couple of corporate sponsors, you'll be fine, guys. Listen, if you need any help on that, yeah, I'm here, boys. You know what I mean? If I can leverage any of my, you know, anything, you know, give me a shout.
$5,000.
Yeah, you can't leverage that off me, mate.
Yeah, but
Taxman's been trying for years.
we have been discussing it and penciling things in. But yeah, say the forward payment stuff is the major, pretty much the block. We get all the way there. Companies, people, money. We're stuck now. Can't do anything.
It'll be emotional one day.
It'd be awesome. It'd be proper sick. It'd be great. It'd be more like a get-together / convention kind of thing. Hopefully, that's what feels we want, you know.
So you get buying t-shirts.
Look, guys, yeah, all you gotta do is start small. Yeah, let's just get a bit of terrain, meet a local little chef, and start from there, eh?
Spud, there's a comment that you neglected to mention for some reason. A comment from Miss Gloomdready Gaming about a possible idea that we could run at events. We've got the Wrestle Greased Up Spud Challenge.
Oh, God.
I wonder who would take that challenge.
You.
£5 to enter. If you can wrestle into the floor, then you win. We'd have to get some sponsorship to get some hardcore prizes for that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Mr. Tom Wilson saying the Chilling Wargamers convention. Our nights is one word, Patreon. And Graham Collins like, and then Pezapoo's like, you could charge ticket prices on the door, but it's the money up front. The venue will want money up front, probably. I would have thought.
Well, do you actually know how much money?
Yeah, it's got probably at least 3 zeros on the end of it.
Yeah, but I mean, 3 zeros is one thing, but you know, is it $5,000? Is it $1,000? You know, do you know what I mean?
It depends. It depends what which venue we chose, really,
And the date as well.
Yeah, the day, and if it were going to be 1 or 2 days, maybe try it one day, and then the year after go to 2 and see what happens. That's what makes it all been penciled. We've discussed different things and the expenditures.
I'd seriously consider talking to some corporate sponsors about just saying covering the shortfall. Do you know what I mean? Not asking them to fund the whole thing, but just say, look, be a backup if we can't.
Just send an email up to Games Workshop and see what happens.
Tell you what, let's just organise it for Warhammer World on a Saturday, and we'll just turn up and take all the tables, and we'll just set a con up. Well, by the time they'd have a chance to, if we put Spud by the door, yeah, by the time they get past Spud, yeah, we'll have had the convention. Ronnie can bring Mantic down, we'll get Relics down, get a few traders in there via the fire escape, yeah. No location costs.
You can't, because then they'll just deploy the legal team in drop pods.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Release the jets.
If we could have some vendors there, instead of having them with stalls, we could just have them with big coats, and they just walk around and just open up the coat. Like the dice bag lady opens a coat, shows you her wares.
I have come across the GW legal team. I have been in their crosshairs.
Oh, dear.
Yes. My response was brilliant. And I pointed out in law, there's no point suing someone who's got nothing.
Very true.
Right, Spud, do you want to tell the people our plans for next week's episode before we go?
Yeah, so next week's episode for next week is same time, same place, 8 PM GMT time, and we have the legend of the great Jojo Man and another community YouTuber, Mr. Tom Wilson. We're going to be prolifically talking about probably 40k, because those guys love 40k, green stuff in Conversion Works and Space Wolves. Even though I know that
like the Space Wolves and Conversions big time.
So we could have some tactics and stuff like that. It'd be pretty cool if we can get them to talk about it. But they will. Yeah, and I'll just sit there, just be quiet for an hour.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah, I love that guy. No, I'm not that bad. I'll enjoy myself.
It's been emotional to get back to an actual season instead of one-off episodes, hasn't it, Spud?
It has, and within 10 minutes of organising 3 episodes in a row, 2 of the guests dropped out, and I was like, this is why I don't like seasons. Like, because you plan it all, and I was like, waiting for that message today from Mel saying, sorry, I can't be bothered.
You could have had Terrain Ted on if he'd pulled out, though.
Yeah.
Mate, Spud, I wouldn't let you down, brother.
Oh, no, yeah, I was just kidding. No, but yeah, so we've got Great Jojo Man on next week, and then the week after that, hopefully, if they don't drop out, we'll have Prodos Games on talking about all the new stuff with the Gardens of Eden, with a roleplay game that they're bringing out. I think it's a roleplay game. And obviously, what's up and coming in Warzone Resurrection. I think we had Warzone Resurrection on in Season 2, and that possibly could be 2 years ago.
That was a really long time ago.
While the Kickstarter was still going, while the Mutant Chronicles Kickstarter was still going. It hadn't even finished. Mental how time's gone by. It's crazy. And look where we are now. It's mental.
A-listers.
So emotional. It's it.
Well, on that note,
Emotional silence.
I think it's time to thank everyone for joining us, including our beautiful audience. We love and cherish each and every one of you.
We've had a steady 15 all the way through, so obviously it went up and down a few times, so thanks to everybody even just popped in and said hello and everything, it means so much to me and all the lads. Thanks for Elson for turning up and putting something into the show.
Yay!
There we go.
I like and Mr. Stevie B for adding inspiration and comical jokes.
Thanks.
Hang on, before we go, where do I get these sounds from?
Tell him that.
Tell me.
Andy Ransom for coming along, because obviously he nearly didn't make it either because of his internet connection, so it's good that he popped along for his professionalism and questions. And then, last but not least, the hero of Terrain community, Mr. Terrain Shooter, thank you very much for coming on and sharing.
Thanks, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Hopefully, we will get this Terrain special. We'll actually get it together one day, and we'll have all get as many people as we can in it.
As many terrain experts as we can on one episode.
Yeah.
We know more than... Possibly we know about 10, don't we? We won't even be able to fit them all in a hangout.
We'd have to have 2 separate hangouts and have to comment in their hangout.
So, a quick thing to the audience, if you're watching this later, not live, and you still have questions, drop them in there, and they may be answered by a terrain expert, or they may be answered by Stevie.
Yeah. So guys, yeah, it does mean a lot. Thanks everybody that does everything with Chilling Wargamers on the Facebook group and page. You know, it's pretty sick. So till next week, my name's Spudset, and these are my boys from another hood. And yeah, orange juice has gone to my head, so I'm
And
gonna
it's
call
so
it off.
ghetto.
Bye.
Peace out, guys. Love you all.